Hello, SpeedGaming fans, and welcome to the Metroid Prime Randomizer Tournament for 2025. Today, we have catHuman versus SpklJae, and this is a very interesting race as this is a tiebreaker to determine who is going to go into the bracket stage. That's right. Both catHuman and SpklJae finished 4 and 2 in the group stage, and therefore have tied for second place. And now we need to send one of them through to the bracket stage, and one of them is gonna be eliminated here today. And we're deciding that with the tiebreaker race. So I believe we have one RA only, and that is Spring Ball, which we'll hopefully get to see. There's been kind of a trend where people just forget about Spring Ball, but I know catHuman won't forget about it. So we'll get to see some Spring Ball action, but otherwise this is just a totally normal preset landing site start, all that. And yeah, looks like the race is about to begin here. So I need to get them synced up. Got a little bit of desync. But here we go. Let's see what item we have in. Yeah. First try. Just a missile on Alco. This does allow us to get. It's actually a missile launcher, which does allow us to get Artifact Temple right away, and a PB behind the ship. So that missile is somewhat interesting. It also we have to make a decision of whether we want to go for Transport Tunnel B in Talon before we head to Chozo here. With launcher, I usually like to do it, but there's definitely a reason to not. Like, you're kind of gonna go there anyways on your way to Magmore usually, and it's sort of a big detour without space jump, so it's a possibility to skip it and just not lose any time and actually save a lot of time by skipping it, but it'll hurt you if it has something. So we'll see. I kind of suspect both runners are just gonna go for it here. But yeah, just an E-Tank and Artifact Temple. That was put into logic by the launcher. We're gonna scan our hints. We'll see if we get them read. I do like to read early hints. We'll see if catHuman goes for it as well. I hope. Okay, maybe we won't see him yet, but when we do see him, I'll try to get him written down. But I suspect we'll see catHuman go for TTB. Okay, here's SpklJae reading hints. Biohazard. PMT. Oh boy. Zoid. Here comes catHuman. PCA. Aether. And from the hall access. catHuman read those way faster than SpklJae did. And it's just been moving a little faster, so netting themselves a lead here. We'll see if SpklJae goes for TTB as well, and that may change things. Let's see what we got. Just a missile, so SpklJae does decide to skip this, though. Will be in the lead. It does not look like they're skipping it. So we're going to see SpklJae also go for. So that means catHuman is going to have a lead going into Chozo here. And we're likely to see our next progression, whether it be like Morph Ball or Space Jump, is probably going to be in Hive Totem Loop, as that's just about all we can do with only missiles right here. Yeah, it's not a massive lead right now, but catHuman is maybe a minute or so ahead. Probably not that much, but certainly ahead here. Okay. We'll see our main plaza items here in a second. Is that a shiny missile? I think that was a shiny missile on the grapple ledge. Bombs in the half pipe, and I think a missile on vault ledge. I'm like pretty sure that was a shiny missile. I think we've seen like one shiny missile this tournament. So I think that'll be the second shiny. Basically, there's like a 1 in 1,000 chance that every missile is a shiny missile. And so that appears to be what happened with that missile on the vault ledge in Main Plaza. Okay. Probably gonna get a Ruined Gallery peek here from catHuman. That's just a missile. And Flamethrower on the lower item. Not going to pick it up, so we're not valid. Meanwhile, SpklJae is not far behind. He's almost in Ruined Nursery. Let's see. We're likely to see something here for catHuman. Just an E-Tank and Hive Totem. What's on Transport Axis North? No. It is Morph Ball. Okay. Let's see if SpklJae gets the Flamethrower. Yeah, let's go. SpklJae is valid. catHuman reading hints again. I guess forgot, or maybe for whatever reason read the last 3 hints again. An E-Tank and Vault, so we don't need to come back for that. So we know about our bombs on the Main Plaza half pipe. We'll need to find either Boost Ball or Space Jump before those become available, which probably means we're going to be seeing one of those items quite soon. We may see there's a trick you can do to get it without either of those by just kind of rolling in. We could see somebody go for that, but for now, catHuman is just checking Ruined Shrine. Only one logical check here. It is a Metroid, but we can peek the other 2 items. That looks like a missile at the top, and we're gonna skip the lower one for now. So it looks like right now we have something in Watery Hall calling our name. We know that Zoid is not gonna have the next progression due to you know, vanilla bombs have been showing up a lot recently, but we already know where bombs are, and they are not vanilla, so we're gonna see something in Watery Hall. The lower item is not in logic, so it's either Watery Hall access, or just Watery Hall itself, the charge beam item. Looks like SpklJae is gonna peek the lower item in Ruined Shrine. Didn't get to see it right there. Ooh, I think that was something. I couldn't. I'll try and peek it again. I think that might have been Spider Ball. Judging SpklJae's suit colors, that kind of looked like a Spider Ball there. And we do know about a Power Bomb expansion in Landing Site. It wouldn't surprise me. Okay. I was going to say it wouldn't surprise me if SpklJae goes and gets that Power Bomb, heads back to Landing Site. or it heads back here, but it looks like we're heading deeper into Cho Zone. Nothing in Watery Hall access. So it has to be something here. It's probably either Space Jump or Boost Ball. We'll find out in just a second. Looks like a Power Bomb and a Ruined Fountain, so we don't need to worry about that. I think that's Space Jump? Let's see. Ooh. Okay. Can't even fail the dash. We can do some Sandimals to recover, and that is indeed Space Jump. So we can now go get our bombs. SpklJae is not behind. They're not far behind, at least. Lower Watery Hall is a missile. So we can go back and get our bombs. catHuman will probably end up getting that Spider Ball. I would suspect we're going to go back for lower Shrine and probably find Spider Ball. So, I mean, really both runners kind of just taking the exact same route so far. Although, we're saving here. Maybe this is... Oh, we're save warping here, actually. I guess this does allow us to take a look at Frigate Crash Site. And we can do Arbor Chamber and Root Cave out of logic. But... Oh, and it also allows us to get that PP. That's true. I suspect catHuman's probably... With this play, you probably want to follow it up by going to Magmore through the Lava Lake elevator rather than through the Root Cave elevator after you make that kind of play. Yeah, and now SpklJae is not save warping, so Jay is heading back to get those bombs, and we'll probably get the spider quickly after. Frigate Crash Site. Ice Spreader is nice, but it's not the most important. It does help on EXO, but it's really pretty insignificant. So, Frigate Crash Site not really paying off for catHuman. But I suspect the main reason they came back here was to get that Power Bomb expansion rather than anything. That basically that route is okay. We're peeking the tree. That looks like a not Troid. Yeah, so I think the rationale behind catHuman's play here is I'm going to go get this PB now so that I don't have to do it later. And that way, after I find Varia, I can basically just go to Chozo go to Magmore through Chozo rather than going through Talon, because it's kind of better if we can take the Lava Lake elevator. It's generally better to do so than it is to take the Root Cave elevator, just as we can kind of get everything in one swoop without having to backtrack at all. And so we're doing this now in order to be able to do that later. Whereas SpklJae is likely going to have to go through the Root Cave elevator to get to Magmore later on. Anyways, we have bombs and Spider Ball for SpklJae now. And so that probably means we are going to be heading to Dynamo. If Dynamo is nothing, we would suspect Upper Furnace has something, as those are the two Spider Lock checks that we can do now with Spider Ball. So it's likely one of the two is going to have a major item. We know Zoid, it could be possible, but it's less likely, just due to the fact that we know one of the items on Zoid is an artifact. So, I mean, Jay is going to do Zoid here almost undoubtedly because we have to at some point, so might as well do it now when we're right here. But whether we end up doing Upper Furnace or not may depend on what is in Upper Dynamo. This could be Varia, or it could be like a beam or something, so what it is will affect how we route after this, for sure. So SpklJae on their way to Dynamo right now, and catHuman just now entering Chozo Ruins after returning to Town Overworld. So catHuman's going to get the bombs and Spider shortly, and we'll be following in Jay's footsteps. E-Tank and lower Dynamo. That's 3 E-Tanks now. catHuman getting the shiny missile in Main Plaza, and just a missile in upper Dynamo. So nothing in Dynamo. We still have upper Furnace, which is a Spider lock checked. I suspect Jay just goes Zoid and into Furnace. Ooh, and that's right. We have Spring Ball. catHuman showing that off. Almost forgot. We'll see at least catHuman using that. Ooh. Yeah, there's a lot of Spring Ball tech like that you can do to just kind of BSJ out of doors and things. That's Spider Ball for both of them. And Jay's shooting a missile at the door and gathering all. Jay also using Spring Ball, so they both certainly know that it's an option here. And are both putting it to use. So as I mentioned earlier, one of the Zoid items is an artifact. But the other item could contain progression. Though it seems more likely that Furnace is going to have something right now. The lower item is a missile, okay. So no progression on Zoid. We know Zoid itself is going to have an artifact. Yeah, the runners are not too far apart. Reminder that catHuman has cleared out more in Talon Overworld than Jay right now, which will probably end up netting them sometime save later. So while they are currently a little bit behind, that may change later on. Just due to that, or just due to, you know, playing the seed differently. This will be an artifact. That's the first of 6. And now we will be heading out to Furnace. If there's nothing here, I think that means we have guaranteed Flagra required. Because I believe we've seen everything except for Flagra and Furnace at this point. So if not here, it's going to be Flagra. Though Spider Ball would certainly point us this direction. It looks like Jay might have a 2 or 3 minute lead. It's kind of hard to gauge here, but it's not huge in either direction. Lower Furnace has nothing. Upper Furnace is the intriguing check, though. And that looks like Varia suit in Upper Furnace. This probably means Jay is going to have a somewhat decent lead going into Magmore, because as we previously discussed, catHuman kind of wants to go to Magmore through Lava Lake, but that's kind of rough to do with a Varia right there. As we're looking to just save Warp We could do Flagra into Magmor. It's not a bad play, but SpklJae almost certainly is going to be safe warping out of Gathering Hall and then going to go do some stuff in Talon Overworld because Jay wants to get that power bomb from underneath the ship. You don't want to really go on longer without any PBs, especially knowing that there's one in Ruined Fountain. That means there are only 2 more PB expansions in the rest of the game, so we're unlikely to stumble into one just randomly. So we probably do want to save warp here. So it does not look like that's where Jay is going. Oh. Yeah. Looks like we're torn. Okay, safe warping. Was kind of torn on that decision. May have been thinking, hey, what if I get this power bomb in Ruined Fountain instead? Or what if I do Flagra into Magmor? But just going to go ahead for the safe warp. At this point, SpklJae will probably be entering Magmor a little bit before catHuman. Though, as mentioned before, there's not a huge difference between the two right now. Pretty close race. There's only been one routing difference so far. It's just that catHuman took the save warp after finding Space Jump, and Jay did not. So Jay's going to get their ice spreader here. Will be nice for Exo. And catHuman's heading into Furnace, so is about to find Varia soon. Okay, yeah. catHuman picking up their Varia right now. While Jay makes their way up Root Cave. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if catHuman goes for the Flagra into Magmor play, because I think they could, just given how they routed earlier on. To possibility, or we may just see them save warp and head to Magmor that way. But at this point, Jay is certainly ahead, just a little bit right now. Okay, so what is catHuman gonna do here? Okay, we are heading towards Arboretum. I won't say Flagra yet. Okay, we're not going to Flagra. Are we going to do Magma Pool on the way? Or are we just going straight up to the Lava Lake elevator? Okay, we're going to take a peek at Magma Pool here. We can get this with the Power Bomb. It's very out of logic at the moment, but this has potential to come into logic later and could be some sort of late game item. Little dash across the room. Literally nothing in Magma Pool. Okay. So now catHuman is probably just heading to the Lava Lake elevator. Jay has entered Magmor, so we're going to start to see some Magmor checks from him. catHuman getting the PB in Ruined Fountain. This is just kind of nice for just for not getting screwed by the drops later on. Grapple Beam and lower Fiery Shorts for Jay. We're going to do a peek for the upper item, which I did not get a good look at what that was. I think that was a missile, actually. Took a look on the Twitch stream, and it looked like a missile. Ooh, Ice Beam. Jay finding Ice Beam. Okay. That is big. It is currently out of logic, as we don't have our main PBs just yet. We would need main power bombs to put those into logic, but something tells me those could be pretty soon. As there is like about half of the game that you can do without Ice Beam, but that does mean Ice being there means we're gonna have to see power bombs pretty soon. TTA. Doing TTA now suggests that they probably will not be coming back later. So what Jay could be doing here, and I actually like this, I kind of like this. We might be... Ooh, supers. Okay. If I saw right, the tree was a Metroid, so that's completely dead. But supers are interesting. We do need those supers sooner or later for Biohazard. catHuman has entered Magmore through the Lava Lake elevator now. Just a missile in Lava Lake. We may be seeing a high five here in Triclops, but that Ice Beam is interesting. I think Jay could be doing a play where we just save warp from Lava Lake and go ahead and do Frigate Crash Site Climb, even though Ice is out of logic right now. And there's a good chance we'll find, like, power bombs or even just something else. Ooh, is that Wave Beam? Okay, that might change things. I think that's Wave Beam in Triclops Pit. Oh, yes, that certainly is Wave Beam in Triclops Pit. A high five from the runners as they both collect Wave Beam in Triclops Pit at basically the same time right here. So, although Ice is currently out of logic, with this beam combination of having both Wave and Ice, we can do a lot of our game. There's a third power bomb. Wow. And just a reminder, our artifacts are in Biohazard, PMT, PCA, Research Lab Aether, and Fungal Hall Access. So in order to beat the game, we need to either find X-Ray Visor or Wall Crawl for PCA, and we need to find Phazon Suit to get PMT. We could technically do Early Newborn, but not only would we need Boost Ball for that, but it's also just very rarely seen in Randomizer, so I find that unlikely, although possible. Monitor Station Dash attempt from catHuman comes up just short. We'll see how Jay routes this, because there's a very real world of just like save warping right here. Does not look like that's what we're doing though. Jay is turning around, so we're probably heading towards Fendrana here now to potentially find we can just go through all of Fen right now if we want. Like, we can do almost everything there, although a lot of the plasma locked checks in early Fen are not going to be available right now. Both runners may be entering Fendrana at like very similar times here. catHuman's probably going to want that grapple though. Appears so. Yep. There's grapple. And Jay is into Fen. catHuman getting the Ice Beam. And we are, once again, really not far apart. This has been a pretty close race altogether so far. What is in the Shoreline Lighthouse? Boost Ball. Okay. We are going to want that. And luckily for us, we have supers and spider ball in order to get it. That's a big movement speed up, along with letting us do some checks a lot easier and saving us time on Ridley as well. So boost ball is very nice. Can do some cool things in combination with spring ball as well. Oh, that's big info for catHuman. Main PBs behind the ice and shorelines. That is gigantic information. Because of that, we know that power bombs cannot be locked by Ice Beam. No, we already know that. We know Ice Beam. Okay, wait. We know... Wait, am I stupid? Hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to put it into words. Okay. We know Plasma Beam cannot be locked by Ice. That's what I mean to say. Plasma is not Ice locked, which really narrows down the checks that Plasma Beam could be. So it is coming up soon here. Likely we will find it somewhere here in Fendrana. Was not seen in Chapel of the Elders or in Ice Rooms East. There's a good chance it is just chilling in labs, though. I would suspect if Plasma... I mean, we want to find Plasma as soon as we possibly can, basically. If Plasma isn't in labs, we probably see a save warp from both the runners almost instantaneously to go look for Plasma Beam and Chozo Ruins. Because there are some checks locked by Wave Beam that we can now do that we previously couldn't, that are not Ice Beam locked. Thardus would be pretty spicy. Though we do not have Thermal right now to put that into logic. We'd need to find that somewhere. And yes, Jay maintaining this small lead that they've had over catHuman for probably the last 10-15 minutes. Again, still a pretty darn close race, but Jay just inching slightly ahead so far at the 30-minute mark. We've got Canyon. This could be Plasma Beam. It's X-Ray Visor. Okay, that's going to make our life a lot easier later on, as we either needed to find X-Ray or do a wall crawl in order to get PCA. And so that makes that decision easy, and we no longer have to do a wall crawl if we want to get it without X-Ray. So that's pretty big. Full expansion. So now we are looking for Plasma and Phazon in order to beat this seed. Those are the items we need. And we know Plasma cannot be Ice Beam locked. So really, we're looking pretty good. Like, there's not much left at this point. Jay taking a save here. Okay, this is gonna equalize them. This save. I'm not sure it's the most necessary save. We do only have 3 E-tanks, but I feel like we can survive. with what we have. They are in the same room. So catHuman only 49 energy. catHuman also goes for a save. Okay, both taking a save before labs. And again, just inches apart right now, basically. Will we see Plasma Beam here? If not, things could get interesting. But Plasma Beam within the next few rooms is quite likely here. Not in Research Lab Hydra. We know Research Lab Aether is an artifact, or at least one of the items there is an artifact. Vanilla Thermal for Thardus Plasma. That would be amazing. I hope we see that. Jay killing all the pirates in here. This again, this could equalize them too. They are very close right now. Don't tell me that's Phazon. I think it was Gravity, but don't tell me that was Phazon. Oh no, that's Phazon. Oh, this is a race. Oh boy. Okay. So we need to find Plasma Beam, and then we're go mode. But Plasma Beam has to be, like, basically one of the next 3 checks we do. So, and our runners are neck and neck. Okay, Jay took a peek at that item. Doesn't appear to be of interest. This is going to be very close. I mean, so far, catHuman has been moving a little bit faster than Jay so far, so... But I mean, oh, this is a race. And for a tiebreaker, let me remind you of the stakes. The winner of this goes into the brackets. So this race is for everything. And it's going to be a really close one, too. There's artifact number 2 for SpklJae, and catHuman is just an elevator ride behind. Phazon was in Observatory. Is Plasma Beam here? No, it's not. And that is every Power Bomb expansion found. Okay. So, we now know Plasma's not in labs. It could be Cumon, or it could be somewhere in Chozo at the moment. Jay has no interest in Cumon right now. This looks like we are just save warping. There are no artifacts in Farfen. I think Jay is just save warping out of here right now. Or we're doing Farfen? Ooh, why are we doing Farfen? This is concerning. Nothing can be here. Nothing can be here. Does Jay not know? Jay definitely saw the main power bombs locked behind the ice. Did they not connect the dots there? Because there cannot be anything of importance here in Farfen. catHuman's going for Cumon. I mean, if this is Plasma, catHuman is in the lead. Okay, here's Cumon. I would not be doing Thardus right now. That is a big time commitment. Okay, not Cumon. So, Plasma Beam is... It's in Chozo Ruins. It is in Chozo Ruins, and we know that right now. Oh, okay. catHuman may insta-save warp here, or we might see a check of... Yeah, okay, we're going to see a check of Magmor Workstation, as just if Thermal does decide to pop up, it would put Workstation into Logic. And it's not Ice Lock, so this could be Plasma Beam. It's not, though. But still not a bad thing to check. Oh, I don't understand Jay's play to do Farfen. I feel like the only explanation of this is that we just haven't connected the dots to realize that Plasma Beam is not locked by Ice Beam. Well, we've done everything in Talon that could possibly be Plasma Beam, so it's either Thardus or it's in Chozo Ruins right now. But yeah, I mean, this is certainly catHuman taking the lead back. I mean, we're still close, but that Farfen play could cost it. And I don't know why we would do it. Yeah, if Thermal is in Chozo, that puts Thardus back into Logic. catHuman into Chozo now. So in Chozo, we have Flagra, Ghosts, Tower of Light, Tower Chamber, Training Chamber, and Training Chamber Access. And Crossway, actually. It could be Crossway. But one of those checks is going to have at least something, whether it's Thermal or Plasma Beam. There's going to be something on one of these on one of those checks, so heading straight into Tower of Light. If Jay goes into Mind here, I am certain that Jay did not connect those dots and realize that Plasma Beam is not locked by Ice. Oh yeah, we're doing plasma processing, okay. I think Jay didn't realize, because there just can't be anything here. And catHuman is on a fast track to find Plasma Beam right now. catHuman knows for sure they're following the logic. I mean, the only thing that could... If Jay finds, like, Gravity Suit or something, that speeds up our path to Biohazard by a lot. But that's kind of the only thing that can save them. Like, they did that check to check for Vanilla Plasma. But, like I think this is just them not realizing... The only thing that could have been his Plasma. Oh yeah, catHuman never peeked a tree earlier, so that could have been a scary tree peek for them. An interesting question is if catHuman doesn't find Plasma Beam in Training Chamber or Training Chamber access, do we do Flogra now or do we save it for after Crossway? We'll find out if we even have to make that decision, though. That's an E-Tank. That is a missile. Okay. Now, Jay is taking a save warp. So we have Flogra, Ghosts, and Crossway. Does catHuman do Flogra Ghosts now? You'd think probably yes. We might be going for reverse Flogra, which I'm not 100% sure saves time. I mean, it's not a big difference either way, so I don't really think this decision matters that much. Like, going forwards Flogra versus backwards Flogra is really not going to make a difference either way. But I think it might be slightly slower in theory if we do this from behind. Frigate Crash Site Climb from Jay. Yeah, I mean, this just screams that they didn't realize that Plasma Beam can't be there. Though there is a world where it's in Crossway and Jay does Far Chozo and finds Plasma Beam in Crossway first. That there is a world where that happens. Oh, I hope. I mean, like, I hope that happens because it keeps it interesting. Because if it's not here, I don't think Jay is going Flogra anytime soon. Is it gonna be here is the question. If Plasma is in Crossway, this race gets very interesting. Okay. Oh no, Jay is not going to Crossway. Jay is going to Life Grove. That might do it. At this point, I don't think there's any possible way for Jay to get Plasma Beam before catHuman and then win this. No matter where it is. If we do Life Grove right now, we may never go back to Far Chozo. Because this could just be a Life Grove bar skip mines situation. That's what it appears to be. catHuman done with Flogra. Flogra itself does not have Plasma Beam. 2 checks left that could have Plasma. Ghosts or Crossway. No Life Grove. This is just a bar skip. Yeah, I mean, it just... Second try bar skip is good. This just doesn't look like Jay is going for Plasma anytime soon here. Though, maybe we're going to Biohazard right now from the back. This could just be a hat check, but this could also be for Biohazard right now. Gonna have to do some wall boosts to get through here. Thermal is right there. Okay, so it's... I mean, that's nice, but that definitely means Plasma is not on Thardus anymore. It's certainly not there. Is it Ghosts? It's not Ghosts. Okay, Plasma Beam is in Crossway. And it is nowhere else. Even with Gravity, this is an Ice Beam lock check. So, yeah, this is just this is a Plasma Beam in Crossway here. And we know it. Okay, we are going for Biohazard right now. This could keep Jay in this. If Jay goes Biohazard and gets the artifact, Don't mess up the finish on that wall boost there. If we go Biohazard and get the artifact right now, and then immediately go get Plasma Beam in Crossway afterwards, Jay could be in this. But that does require us to immediately go get Crossway after this. Yeah, Crossway is the hot dog check, KR. Yeah, doing this room Gravless is pretty slow. We would, no matter what, we have to do a Gravless Frigate for Biohazard anyways. Coming from the front or back, it's going to be slow either way. catHuman heading for Crossway. There's a good chance catHuman is going to feel pretty far behind after finding this Plasma Beam due to it being a literal last location for them. But they are ahead, little do they know. Oh man, if Jay had gone for Crossway there, if Jay had gone Farchozo, done out Farchozo, and found Plasma and Crossway, oh, it would have been amazing. But this right here should be our Plasma Beam. I don't think it can be anything else. Yep, there it is. There's the Biohazard artifact for Jay. Which, like, potentially keeps them in this if they get that artifact and then immediately go get Plasma Beam after safe warping here. They could still stay in it. But there's Plasma Beam for catHuman. And again, I mean, we have 3 lower mines artifacts and then Biohazard. So catHuman has just got to go to mines. Jay's got to find the... catHuman's got to go to mines and then get Biohazard, and then they're done. Jay has to go find Plasma Beam and then go to mines. If Jay goes straight to Plasma Beam here, we have a shot at a close race for sure. That said, catHuman's not headed in the direction of mines. So, I guess this is a save warp. I'm not sure going to this save station would have been faster than the one next to Antechamber, but again, like, I don't think that's a big difference either way, so it probably doesn't really matter. But yeah, Jay is not heading towards Plasma Beam. I mean, we're going to Chozo. We're gonna find it eventually here, I think, but we are not gonna find Plasma Beam fast enough, I don't think. I do think it would have been probably better for catHuman to just go to mines through the front. I mean, I guess we're thinking we want to go to mines through PPC, but it really doesn't take that long to just go down from upper mines. So I think it probably would have been better if they had just gone to mines through the front and done bar skip. But yeah, catHuman is everything they need to beat the game now. This is just go get our artifacts and then finish the game. What finish time are we looking at for catHuman? Maybe around a 110 or so. This would seem like a 110-ish. test. We have to do lower mines, and then biohazard. I mean, I do really think, had Jay maybe just not done far fen, and then just gone to Chozo through the front right away, we could have had a really close race. Or, I mean, or if Jay had just god routed into that plasma beam by going to Chozo through the back. Oh man, we would have had a very close race. But this looks like Jay's gonna take a long time to find plasma beam now. Also, a completely silent race time room thus far. No one has said anything in it. Sometimes the runners will talk to each other a little bit. But yeah, this one is just dead silence. Yeah, I would predict that Jay is probably going to follow in catHuman's footsteps of getting training chamber and training chamber access, and then probably just heading to Flogra and Ghosts before getting Plasma Beam and Crossway. Getting the PB out of Ruin Fountain. catHuman is in mines now. Accidentally activated that fight. It looked like they wanted to skip the pirate fight altogether. Did not end up happening. Jay's done with the training chamber area. And yeah, Jay is also gonna go ahead and do Flocker reverse here. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's possible for catHuman to find Gravity Suit down here, which would speed up their biohazard artifact. So it's probably worth catHuman just doing checks here, because a Gravity Suit would certainly speed up their finish time. Oh, Jay's going to Ruin Gallery. Maybe they messed up the peak for this earlier? Maybe they thought this was plasma or something? I mean, I think if you think that's plasma and then it's not, you get a lot more upset than that. One would assume Cat knows Graveless Frigate. I don't imagine a world where Cat doesn't. Gravity Suit would still speed us up, though. Just because you literally move faster without gravity, or with Gravity Suit. Tried to get grabbed by that Metroid, but the door killed him. Metroid's worst enemy is the door. Yeah, just heading through lower mines here. PMT is an artifact, and PCA is an artifact, so we're gonna get an OP fight. And then probably a Dave Warp shortly after. catHuman doing early newborn strats. Alright. No gravity so far. We'll see. We just have MQB and OP, which could be gravity at this point. SpklJae finishing up their ghosts. And they should now know that it's Crossway. And they might be kicking themselves after having entered Chozo from the back earlier and not gone into Crossway. Might hurt a little bit. But at this rate, it is certainly looking like catHuman is going to win this race and go on to brackets. I am going to go use the bathroom. I will be right back, everybody. Okay, I have returned. Looks like Jay has found their plasma beam. Just as catHuman finishes up Omega Pirate. And they're headed straight for mines. At this point, it's probably too late, but this catHuman has 5 artifacts, just has to do Biohazard now, but they're probably not super far behind, all things considered. This is probably like 6 or 7 minutes or so. Yeah, Jay has already done bar skip too, so no need to do that. Just a grabless frigate. And it's quite easy, so I don't see catHuman having much trouble with this. Huh, got trolled by grapple there. The lock-on system, unfortunately, not quite functioning right. Yes, what Jay did with graveless frigate from the back is certainly harder than what catHuman is currently doing with graveless frigate from the front. Those turrets, man, they are out to get you. I'm gonna do some pseudo grav here. Basically, you can make the game think that you are not in water just for this specific room by basically tricking it to having a negative. The game basically keeps track of how deep you are in water. And with this, we basically trick it into thinking that we are just not in any water whatsoever by having a water depth of, I don't know if it's negative or 0, but it's a low water depth enough to the point where we don't have water physics in that one room. And then right here, all we have to do in this room is just boost up the wall, basically. You can just kind of boost up this without gravity for whatever reason. And it just kind of works, so can use that as an easier, although we are unmorphing here. Oh, I guess to shoot the conduit. You can also shoot that conduit from the bottom. TD. catHuman through the tough rooms now. And now we just have to get this last artifact, and that'll be all of them for catHuman. Just a save warp and we'll be done. OP or PMT? It was actually both this seed. PMT and PCA both had an artifact. Of course. Yeah, I mean, again, all things considered, Jay is not too far behind here. Like, really still, it's not like, it's not that much of a difference. You know, Jay's, like, probably, Jay is optimally, like, 4 minutes behind here. Maybe even less. So it's like, oh man, that Farfen could have cost. I mean, there were a lot of things Jay could have done, just making their route slightly better, and they would have taken it. I mean, a really close race for a long time, and I just think maybe Jay didn't quite connect the dots early on with the with all that. With seeing the power bombs behind the ice in shorelines, I think Jay didn't quite realize that until it was probably too late, and they had already maybe even gone into frigate. I think it might have been around Life Grove when they kind of like hesitated and then just straight up did bar skip, and then they realized, oh wait, you know, Plasma Beam cannot be ice locked. There's no reason for me to be doing Life Grove or anything in Mines. Pool skips are not going to make 4 minutes of difference, unfortunately. And Thermal is also not going to make 4 minutes of difference. But, I mean, Thermal doesn't even actually save us time on Essence if we just do everything right, but it does make it easier because, you know, you can actually see the thing you're trying to shoot. But it's still very much possible to shoot Essence even without Thermal. Yeah, catHuman would have to mess this up very bad in order to lose this race at this point. These would have to be some tragic final bosses. But another thing, with pool skips, I mean, it's like Essence can just straight up troll you, but like 90% of the time when a pool skip happens, it's kind of your own fault. Like, you can do a lot of things to pretty much guarantee that you are not going to get pool skipped. So like, if you're just playing well, you're really not going to get pool skips. Like, most of the time, it's like 1 out of 20 times you actually end up getting pool skipped if you're just playing well. It is usually your fault when you get pool skipped. Sometimes it can happen, though, where it's just like, Essence just says, nah. But that's pretty rare. But yeah, catHuman done with Ridley and is moving on to X, so we have super missiles. Ice Spreader's going to help out at least some, but super missiles are the main thing that are going to speed this up. But yeah, I mean, catHuman's 6-ish minutes away from finishing. Final bosses can vary pretty greatly, so somewhere around that realm. So this will be like a 118 or so. There's some sub-chamber 1 done. SpklJae going for the OP 1 cycle, which I think catHuman missed earlier. Not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure catHuman missed it. Jay also missing it. Seen 2 bosses at the same time. Just one of them's the final boss and one of them is not. Is he still gonna get Ice Spirit shot off? Yeah. Pretty close, but didn't get it. Run by shot did not seem to work. I'm telling you, there's some sort of universal force that makes you always miss the run by shot whenever wave beam is the next beam that it's going to switch to. It always happens. Okay, there's OP down for SpklJae. Will probably, maybe, will at least be on Ridley by the time catHuman finishes this, I would think. Might not have Ridley dead yet, but this will still be pretty close. Wasn't the greatest lower mines loop ever, so kind of lost some time over what could have been. The safe word from Jay. One more phase, and then exit will be down for catHuman. Gets trolled by the Ice Spreader. That one didn't get trolled, no. That's EXO down, so just an Essence fight. And yeah, it does look like Jay will at least be on EXO, or on Ridley. Might even get Ridley down before the finish here. Even already going for pool cancels. Going for like a 2-pool or something? Well, we're definitely not getting a 2-pool if that's what we were going for. Looks like catHuman managed to find Essence without thermal. So we're getting some attack cancels. And Jay has boosted into Ridley. Yeah, looks like Jay is gonna get Ridley down here. Yeah, I mean, still a pretty close one overall. A couple more pools and catHuman should have it. Like, I don't know why we're doing pool cancels here on this pool. Like, do you think we just do attack cancels? I mean, I guess it works. Like, you still got decent damage. Okay, this should be the last pool here. Ooh, Essence is so far away. I mean, we can just hold it down and kill Essence, though. I don't think we need to do pool cancels here. I mean, I think it'll work, but we could have just held the button down and it would have killed. Okay. And that is GG's for catHuman. With SpklJae just in Impact Crater, right on EXO. I mean, overall, this is about a 6-minute difference for this race. Pretty close overall. And welcome in catHuman. GG's. And congratulations on making the brackets This is a very interesting race. For a long time, you and Jay were extremely close. Basically until after labs when I think Jay just didn't quite realize that plasma couldn't have been locked by ice beam. And so they did some strange routing decisions. I think they realized eventually, but it just took them a while. And so that kind of made the difference. But, I mean, really, for like the first 40 minutes or so, you guys were neck and neck like the entire time.
Yeah, that's that. I really, one thing that could have saved me like probably a few minutes or so is the wall crawl for PCA through, I think it's MQB. Could have done that or learned it.
Oh yeah, X-Ray was in a pretty kind spot anyway, so it ended up being generally okay to just skip it, because I mean, while that wall crawl can be good, it's usually just faster to fight OP. Though I was using the bathroom for a second when you were fighting OP, and I didn't see if you got 2-cycled or not.
I did.
Okay, I thought it happened, but you guys both got 2-cycled on OP actually. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like you made a lot of the decisions that kind of just made sense. Were you feeling behind after last location in that plasma?
Yeah, kind of. Especially when I went to do Flog Run. For a moment, I was like a little confused. I'm like, wait, how is it not here? And then I quickly remembered the crossway.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, there was a world, so basically, I don't know, Jay was like a few rooms ahead of you going through labs. And there was a world where, and Jay after labs proceeded to do far fen and then safe warp. So that took a longer time to do that than you just basically straight up safe warping immediately. I also did plasma processing actually, too, but...
Oh, you did plasma processing as well.
Yeah. And so, but after that, Jay took the frigate crash side elevator. And I was thinking, I'm like, man, if Jay just, at that point, you still hadn't done most of Chozo, so it was like, there's a possibility of it being crossway, but we didn't know for sure. But I mean, we're just thinking, man, if it's really crossway, and Jay just does that right now, it could be a crazy god route. But Jay... I think it was around then Jay realized that it had to be not locked by Ice Beam, because it was then that Jay went towards Live Grove, but then just immediately went and did bar skip instead of actually doing Live Grove, so kind of took a strange route there, which I assume is the result of realizing, oh wait, you know, Plasma Beam cannot be locked by Ice Beam, and it can't be anywhere in this area. But had they gone for crossway, it would have been really close had they done that. Oh, what is that weird thing with charge beam? Oh, what is that?
Yeah.
I've not seen that before. Okay, it's gone. Oh, yeah, thermal was in hat, which Jay got, because Jay did reverse frigate instead of doing it forwards. But other than that, I guess I should have looked in credits for where gravity was.
I think it was security access A.
Oh, security access A. Okay, yeah. We were basically never getting that.
Yeah, there's not much of a reason to go there, considering once you just get plasma, you're in go mode.
Yeah, there's no reason to do that. It was like, although the seat was friendly on paper, but Plasma Beam being specifically crossway there was pretty rude.
Yeah. having to go all like you get both beams, you kind of clear out labs, and yeah, it's just it goes so deep into because like there's no reason you want to go from the back. You want to hit those more dense checks from the front.
It doesn't make sense. All right, GG's for Jay. We'll try and get them in here for an interview as well. And welcome in. GG's.
GG's.
Yeah, so I've been telling catHuman, I mean, you guys obviously see it's, what, like a 6-minute difference. But you guys were really neck and neck for a long time. Pretty much up until after labs, which I have to ask Jay, did you just not realize that Plasma Beam couldn't be ice locked for a while?
I admit it never crossed my mind.
Like, at all, or was it just for like that moment? Because I guess you kind of took a little strange routing after the save warp from Farfen, where I was like, I think they might have just now realized, but I guess, yeah, the main PBs behind the ice in shorelines meant that Plasma Beam could not be locked by Ice Beam. And so that greatly influenced catHuman's route after labs. But I mean, really, you guys were neck and neck for like 40 minutes until that point, basically, and then the routes kind of diverged a bit. But it was still like there was never a moment where it wasn't still close. Yeah, I guess it's just. So you did all of Farfen just looking for Plasma?
Yeah, exactly. At that point, I knew it was basically Plasma Go mode. So it was pretty much just clean up Fen while I'm there. And then part of me wanted to just go into mines and check there. But I'd been bitten a few times in both tournament races and practice seeds by something being in training chamber. And that's why I warped back and started doing the some of the Chozo checks. And I like in my mind, X-ray was the most recent item in the logic chain. So I went to go check like Great Tree Chamber. And there was that moment there where I was like, do I check the rest of late Chozo while I'm here, or should I just go straight to reverse frigate?
Yeah, if had you done that, it would have been so close. Like you guys really would have been so close had you just. Oh man, it was. I mean, it was still a really great race to watch, but.
Yeah,
Like,
that
wow.
port was in my mind. I was thinking, do I do it or do I just not? But yeah, I don't know. It could have worked. It could have not. That's the way the cookie crumbles, as they say.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way to know when you're playing the seed, right?
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, it's just you guys really just had very similar routing for like basically the entire seed. I mean, it was both just like doing pretty much the same route early game. Go to Magmore, find the beams, clear out all of Fen, and then save warp and do Chozo, and then go to mines. Because like neither of you took a route that was like majorly different. You both took like big, like looking at it from big picture, you guys basically took the same route, but like the micro routing of like which order you did some checks in was kind of different. And that's kind of what caught it. Was like basically it was just the Farfen play and then just kind of stalling out early Chozo, or just Chozo in general, that cost it. SpklJae, but I mean, it really would have been a very close race. Had to happen because, yeah, I mean, it was neck and neck. I mean, this is still a close race. Only 6 minutes of difference. Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything else to say. If you guys have any more comments.
Nah, I mean, GG's and good luck, Cat, in the bracket. Carry the flag.
I guess the only thing is that when I first went through Chozo, and I had maybe like 2 E-Tanks, I was kind of scared to do Magma Pool. If they didn't have Arya. I felt like I could have routed that a little bit better. But I was just playing it safe.
Yeah.
Aside from that, it's like, not much else to say. This seed was kind of somewhat straightforward, I would say.
Yeah, a lot of it was. Well, I think that's all from us today. GG's to catHuman and SpklJae, and good luck to catHuman in the brackets. And we'll see you all next mission.
Yep, bye.
See you around.